Lesson 32 is about expanded notation and elapsed time. Now the first question we have is about expanded notation. And what we want to do is write 250 in expanded notation. When we see this phrase, expanded notation, it means we want to be working with place value. And we want to identify the different values we have in each place value. So, 250. Well, that means we have two hundreds. And the way that we're going to write that in expanded notation is going to be, say, 2 times 100, because we have 200. That's the first part. And we write expanded notation answers within parentheses. We have 5 tens. So what we're going to say is plus 5 times 10. And then if we look back at our original problem, we have 0. We have 0 in the ones place. So we could say plus 0 times 1, but we don't have to. And we don't have to because 0 times 1 is equal to 0. So our final answer, let's go ahead and box what we could write as our final answer. We could write this as our final answer. Or if we wanted to, we could include plus 0 times 1 in our answer. But we don't have to, because that's the same thing as 0. Let's go ahead and move on to our next example. Now we're given a problem in expanded notation, and we're going to write it in standard notation. So what we have here is we have 5 times 1,000. That's 5,000. So we're going to put a 5, and let's go ahead and let's write out spaces for each of our place values. We've got thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. We've got 5 times 1,000, that's 5. We've got 2 times 100, that's 200. So we're going to get 5,200, and then we have 8 times 10. 8 times 10, that's 80. 5,280, and we have no ones. You can see there's no ones written up here. So we're going to have a 0 in the 1 spot. So we get the number 5,280. That's how many feet there are in a mile. We live right next to the mile-high city of Denver. So the mile-high city of Denver has an elevation of 5,280 feet. Let's go ahead and move on to our next example. Jason started the marathon at 7:15 a.m. He finished the race at 10:10 a.m. How long did it take Jason to run the marathon? So in this question, we're looking at elapsed time. And when we're looking at elapsed time, it can be tricky because there's only 60 minutes in an hour. So what we're going to do, we're going to say from 7:15 to 8:15. That was the beginning stages of the race. From 7:15 to 8:15, that's 1 hour. So Jason's been out there running for 1 hour so far during this time period. He's probably still feeling pretty good. From 8:15 to 9:15, Jason's running some more. Okay, he's running for another hour. So 8:15 to 9:15, that's 1 more hour. He's probably getting a little bit tired at this point, but still feeling okay. Then he's running from 9:15, well, he's only going till 10:10. So he's going from 9:15 to 10:10. This is a little bit less than an hour. This is 55 minutes, because it's 5 minutes less than an hour. So this is 55 minutes. These last 55 minutes were probably really hard for Jason, but it sounds like he finished the whole thing. He did. He finished the race. So we can add up our total time. We're going to get 1 hour plus 1 hour plus 55 minutes. Well, 1 hour plus 1 hour is 2 hours, and 2 hours plus 55 minutes is 2 hours, 55 minutes. And we could report our answer with abbreviations like this if you like, or you could write out hours and you can write out minutes. We've got our final answer, 2 hours, 55 minutes. Let's look at our next elapsed time problem. What time is 2.5 hours after 10:43 a.m.? Again, these elapsed time problems are tricky because there's only 60 minutes in an hour. So let's say we start at 10:43 a.m. And in this problem, we know we need to go 2.5 hours later. So let's jump ahead 2 hours. 2 hours later than 10:43 must be 12:43. Okay, this is 2 hours later. Now we have another half an hour. So we're going to go another half an hour. We'll make a short arrow for that. And we'll put this is going to be 30 minutes. If we're going to add 30 minutes on to 12:43, we're going to have to think about what our answer is going to be. Let's say we had 12:45. If we had 12:45 plus 30 minutes, that must get us to 1:15 p.m. Because if we take 15 minutes and add it on to 12:45, we get 1, and the other 15 minutes, we would get 1:15 p.m. So if we had 30 minutes on to 12:43, we're going to have to get 1:13 p.m. And we can go ahead and write that in blue. We got 1:13 p.m. When we work with fives, sometimes it's easier to add on our time. And we can do that as an intermediate step, if we like, to help us solve these elapsed time problems. So 2.5 hours after 10:43 a.m. would have to be 1:13 p.m. Lesson practice will be on page 170 and 171. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.